Hey Insiders, we've got a very special guest joining us here today who's recently just gone through our flagship course, LMA. He's just graduated and he's going to be coming on here today, sharing how he honestly found the whole experience and everything else in between. So, I guess just to kick us off here this morning, would you just mind telling us your name, where you're from, and what it is that you currently do right now?
Okay. Well, my name is Roy Wilkins. I am from Baltimore, Maryland in the US, and I am I recently retired about 3 years ago, and I said I wasn't really ready to retire. I need to do something, so I started my own woodworking business, and so that's what I do now. And
Beautiful.
that's it.
Beautiful. Well, listen, Roy, I just want to say it's so great to have you here this morning. Thank you so much for giving us your time here today to come and have a chat. Loving the energy. As soon as we kicked off this call straight away, I was like, fantastic. We're in for a good time here, right? Um,
Oh, yes.
and I guess the where I just wanted to start here today was, Roy, would you just mind telling us what was like the biggest challenge that you were currently facing in your life prior to joining the LMA program?
Well, it was a couple of things, or maybe a couple few things. Well, the first thing and the biggest thing was for me was procrastination. I would try to overthink things, and then the more I thought about things, it was like, oh well, I'll put things off, or maybe I need to think this all the way through. So that was the one of the biggest things. The
Wow.
other one was, you know, I guess a sense of not being worthy enough um for anything, yeah, I had the education and the know-how, but it just seemed like, when to dream big, or to reach for something bigger than where I wanted, as big as where I wanted to be, I just didn't think I was worthy. I felt that I wasn't worthy enough.
Wow.
I didn't put enough hard work in and things like that. So, that was the two main factors. But and then there was a bunch of other little things that I would say. But other than that, but
Yeah.
those were the main two.
Yeah. So the procrastination that you spoke about and that feeling of unworthiness, right?
Mhm.
They're kind of big things. How was that affecting your life by procrastinating and that feeling of unworthiness? How is it playing up in your life, those things?
On both of those things, I think made me miss out on a lot of things. Um, you know, or I would accomplish things a lot later. I
Mm,
mean, life goes a lot later than my friends were. And then uh, I would feel inadequate again. And it was like a vicious cycle. I put things off. I wasn't able to accomplish things. And then I look at other people and I said, well, they got this, this, and this. And I felt inadequate. Then I said, well, maybe I'm not thinking through things enough. And it was just this one perpetual um, cycle of, I guess, underachievement. Oh, I felt that was underachievement. And one of those little factors is that I never gave myself credit for the things I did accomplish
yeah,
in the past.
yeah,
And I just looked at myself, oh well, I got this. Oh well, I bought the oh well, everybody else got one, or nobody. I just didn't feel worthy, or I didn't feel that I was where I was supposed to be.
wow.
So,
And then how did the LMA come into your path then? How did that fall onto your lap?
oh, well, how I stumbled across, and I literally mean stumbled across. I was uh, um, sitting at my computer one day, and I was looking, flipping and flipping, and I came across LMA. I said, "What is?" I've never even heard of LMA before, and I started listening to the introduction, and Tim actually, it seemed like he was speaking to me. I mean, I know it was he made the tape for a lot of people, but what his words were saying was speaking to me. So I said, hmm, let me look into this a little more. And when I did, I got into it. I started, and then I said, I'm going to throw caution into the wind. I'm tired of procrastinating, because that was one of the things I wanted to work on. Throw caution into the wind. Let's go for it. And I
Wow.
took the course, and it just, from the very first day, it's like a light switch came on, just like that. And I started what I call living and breathing the
Beautiful.
LMA. It was just mind blowing. And I said, I've heard some of this before, but it just didn't dawn on me. It just didn't come to me the way it was coming to me through LMA. So
And
yeah, that's
before we dive more into like the actual LMA program and what you experienced and stuff, before stepping forward in faith and coming on board the program, did you feel any resistance or did you have any concerns that was in your mind, or did you have any like procrastination in that moment that was stopping you or preventing you from signing up? And if so, how did you put that to one side and step forward in faith and come on board?
Well, I actually, well, it was the procrastination thing again. I looked at it and I said, "Oh, I can do it." It was on a Sunday. And I said, "Oh, I'll do it. Maybe I should put this aside for and do some research on it."
Mm.
And so I started to set it aside and procrastinate. Um, and then, that inner voice was telling me, say, "Oh, you've tried programs like this before. It never works." Um, and I'm like, then I said, "Stop, time out. You said this morning," and I was talking to myself, "You said this morning that you wanted to stop procrastinating.
Yeah.
Here's a chance." And so that's how
Wow.
I got into it. And
And before we go even a wee bit further, I just heard you say that you've done other courses before. What was so different about LMA compared to the courses that you had done before that stands out to you?
well, the other courses was more like, I don't know. It seemed, for sake of a better word, it seemed regimented, like
Mm.
everybody's got to fit into this mold. You got to be pigeonholed and you have to uh, do all of these steps, step one, step two, step three, and um, then you'll be okay,
Yeah.
you know. But with LMA, it was like, okay, they showed me some steps, but they never in the other programs, they never got down to the root cause of why I was procrastinating, why I was doing the things that I was doing, and why I was self-sabotaging. It never got down to the root. It was just saying, "Okay, that's what you're doing. Don't do that no more.
Yeah.
Next thing." So, but LMA was quite different. It actually got down to the root level,
Wow.
and it actually started nurturing,
Mm.
nurturing your psyche so that you were able to say, "Okay, I see the error of my ways. Now let's fix it, and now let's grow."
Wow.
And that's the part I liked about it the most.
Beautiful. Thanks so much for sharing, bro. It's so great to hear this. And
Absolutely.
what would you say surprised you the most throughout the LMA program?
Oh, what surprised me the most? How well it flowed to me. I
Mm.
mean, it was like um every day I was like getting up just to see what great thing was going to happen that day. I never felt that way before. It was like, okay, it's like I had a thirst for learning the
Wow.
LMA way. That's the only way I can explain it. It was just coming to me, and it wasn't spoon fed. It was allowing me to get as much as I want at
Mm.
one time, and I didn't miss a beat. I mean, it didn't miss a beat with me. It was just, and then after the first week, it was like, oh man, I want some more. I want some more. I want some more. Um, and and going through the course, you're finding out things about yourself. And then I said, what new thing am I going to find out about myself today? This day, you know, and it never disappointed. So
Wow.
I was
So
on board.
from all of that you said, you felt that it flowed to you really easily and like you were
Mhm,
hungry for learning and stuff. After
mhm.
being out now the other side and graduating from the course and completing LMA, specifically, what would you say has been the biggest benefit that has shifted your life, or what would you say has changed the most dramatically since before you started to the person that you are now?
Oh wow, there's so many, but one of the biggest things was, like I said, I before I go to bed at night, I make a list of the things I want to do,
Yeah.
okay, for the next day.
Mm.
All right. And then as soon as I get up, the first thing that I do, and this is something I tried to teach myself, is the first thing that I do is make my bed.
Mhm.
Because if I don't do anything else, and this was in my old self, at least I can say I made my bed today, But I make that list, and when I get up in the morning, not only do I make my bed, but I go through the list, and that prepares me for the day and get me ready to to accomplish all the things. And sometimes I write those things down, and I'm like so excited that I can't get to sleep, or I can't wait to get up to start doing those things.
Wow.
And that's the one thing that I think LMA has done for me, is make me look forward to accomplishing those things, or accomplishing things throughout the day. And
Beautiful.
those, they may be little accomplishments, but man, they make a I it at one time, I was, in my old self, I would procrastinate, procrastinate, procrastinate. One time, one thing I procrastinated on for quite some time was, taking a trip, and I just came back from that trip. But I procrastinated, procrastinated, and I made the reservations, and you should have saw me. After I made the reservations and I confirmed and everything, man, I was so excited. I said, "Look what I just did. I almost did a backflip." As a
Wow.
matter of fact, give me a second. No, I pulled my shoulder last
Oh, I love it. Oh, I can feel your vibe and energy and excitement. And I get what you're saying there. It's like you've woken up and you wake up now every day excited for life and excited
time.
to get through your list. And the productivity levels there seem like you've really smashed it. And congrats on the trip as well. I just wanted to ask you as well, like, just while we're on this topic and stuff, how would you summarize Tim as a teacher, facilitator, or trainer? What would you say about Tim?
Oh, wow. What I would say to him is, first, thank you for he teaches from experience.
Mm,
I mean, he gives you the background, he gives you his story,
mm,
and believe it or not, it's pretty similar to my story. And I don't know, maybe that's why there was a connection there, but it's pretty similar to my story. And it just, the way the wasn't like you're mandating, you will learn this, cut 2, 3, 4, you know. Um, it wasn't like that. It was more natural. It wasn't laid back, well, you get it, you get it. If you do, it was more okay. Let me motivate you. Let me and that's actually one of the formulas that I had to conquer my procrastination. I said, um, uh, I take away that procrastination by motivation, you
mm.
know, and activation.
Yeah.
Motivation is that spark that gets me to activation. So it's procrastination and activate, and that's what he was able to ignite in me, to ignite those the willingness to just do.
Wow.
It's like that tennis shoe company. Just do it. You
Mhm.
know, stop worrying about what if this, what if is, what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? What if it goes right? And that's what he was able to make me look at that and say,
Wow.
yeah, what if it goes right? What are you going to do? So I, if I had to tell somebody, if they were thinking about doing something, as a matter of fact, I've told a couple of people. Some wasn't ready to hear it, but I've told a couple of people, and they said, "I'm going to check this out because I can see the change in you," and that's between getting rid of. I try not to say that p word. I try to remove it from my vocabulary,
Yeah.
but between that and just being energized about life now,
Yeah.
even in my younger days, I had jobs that I liked, but nothing I really loved,
Yeah.
that make me want to get up in the morning, so
Yeah, beautiful.
I'm sorry. I go.
No, 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 no. Do not apologize. We're loving this energy. Keep bringing it, right? I guess one final question that I do want to like wrap it up with, and I would love to hear from you and your perspective from what you've shared. What advice
Mhm.
would you give to other people that are thinking about joining the course or that are sitting on the fence? They want to change their life, but they're not too sure. What would you say to them now after going through this whole experience? What would your words to them be?
My words to them will be quite simply, just no, just two words. And again, I have to borrow from that tennis shoe company.
Yeah,
Just do it. Well,
yeah,
three words, I guess. Just do it. I mean, yeah, you can sit around and start thinking about what if what if this fails again? What if I don't get anything out of it? What if it doesn't change me? What if it does?
yeah.
What if it does change you? What if it isn't it worth get at least doing it
Mhm.
and see what happens? Stop procrastinating. There's that P word again. Stop procrastinating. Get out there, grab hold, and I always people see me doing this all the time,
Yeah,
and I've started doing this. It's not a fist of anger. It's
it's
not anger at
passion,
all.
it's
It
excitement.
is. It's actually I'm visualizing myself driving the bus. And you know where I'm going with this. I'm driving the bus. Now, people, you see me coming down the street on the bus, you have one of three options. You can get on board. I have plenty of seats. Come along with the ride. It's going to be a great ride. Or just get out of the way. Don't impede me. But and the third option, if you do get in my way and you try to stop me, you're going to hear that sound called bloop bloop. And you know what bloop bloop is? That's the sound it makes. That's the sound that you hear when the tires roll over because very little is going to stop me.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep going and driving and driving and driving. Man, that's what this course is all about. It's
Wow.
igniting the fire. And if you want to have a passion for life, have a passion for things that you want to do, have a passion for the people that you want to meet, this is it. You know,